Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
It's been a minute, but back in victory lane. How you feeling after that? I'm gonna call it a check and flag performance, man. Michael Overstrret. How you feeling?
Dude, I am pumped. My heart was racing, probably faster than I was driving.
So
this last 15 laps or so. But yeah, man, it's been a long time coming. I honestly, you know, and it's true what like real drivers say, like you never know when your next last win's gonna come or your next win's gonna come if it does, and I've been questioning that, and it's really good to get another one for sure.
until then, my man, stay safe.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
All right, there you have it. Final words from the Salisbury kid. Well, not a kid, but getting it done. Just around the corner from the hometown here in Rockingham, North Carolina, Michael Overstrret will walk away with the third checkered flag in the season, become our third different winner. And welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to Talladega Super Speedway 4. The ode to Overstrret. That's right, one of the American Sim Motor Racing's very own. Gonna call it a season at the end of season number 13, paying a little tribute to the one and only Michael Overstrret in the field here tonight. 75 laps out in front of these drivers. We're gonna see if one of our wily veterans can take the first checkered flag here in season 13, or if one of the fresh faces ends up in victory lane here tonight. Beautiful day for racing here at Talladega Super Speedway, and we're gonna get right down to it. We're gonna get head. What do you say we just go ahead and get trackside as these drivers get set and ready to roll here tonight? 75 laps, a long night of racing, no fast fixes, no quick repairs for these boys, so run what you brung, and you better stay on your toesies as we go through tonight's race. So, as drivers await the official word, we'll go ahead and give you your official rundown here tonight. 15 drivers set to take to the grid here today from Talladega Super Speedway. Alexander Pickett, fresh face newcomer, debuting with the A.S.M.R truck series. And he's gonna put it quick time 54.69. Can't get better than that right there. Pickett will bring us to the green flag. Daniel Jensen, the quick run, the Snake River Racing legend, will start out the side pole here today. Zach Miller, Doug Argabright back in row 2. Row number 3, Cody Schultz and Lieutenant Carlos Ramos. The man, the myth, the legend, the man of the hour, Michael Overstrret, going to start inside row number 4 with Patrick Coro just to his outside. Jake Doffing and Brian Ternowski gonna finish out your top 10. Zach Monday, Dylan Deese in row number 6. Row number 7 here tonight, finishing out doubled up drivers Nicholas Wing and Dave Gage. And it looks like that should do it for the rundown. Nicholas Wing gonna bring up the tail end of this 15 truck field. We got a bit of a season too. I don't know how many of you guys had a chance and opportunity yet so far to take a moment and take a little glimpse at that splash art and some of those different races. We're gonna go road course racing this season, but going south of the border, we're gonna head to Mexico City, put these boys on a real road course. We'll see who can capitalize on that journey. And it looks like either Cody didn't get any sponsors this season or ran a little late getting to the wrap shop. Let's see if we can't do something about that for him. Not sure we're gonna be able to help him, but you know, we're willing to try. Might see a little bit of technical difficulties here while we try to ensure that everybody's beautiful paint schemes are out there showing up on their trucks tonight. That you can see a handful of them, making sure they're reset and ready to roll. Paula, good to see you back in the chat. Remember you from last season, being in the chat quite often. So good to see you back. Glad you could hang out with us for just a little while, and hopefully you can endure all of my nonsensical shenanigans that I'm just known for. And there you go, just like that, some Firestone Johnny Walker on the side of that fine machine. Looking a little bit sweeter out there. The sponsor's definitely going to enjoy being back on the side of that machine. And I don't know. I don't think that's the right saying. We got a saying back there. It says, you know, go fast, turn left, but I'm not quite sure it was meant to be turn fast, go left, but either way, it is what it is. '93 of Michael Overstrret get ahead to the front and enjoy a parade lap here at Talladega SuperSpeedway. Out front, leading the field, and he doesn't quite know that we were gonna do this, and we're gonna see if we can do this. And it looks like we very well may be able to shock the world and get a little bit of a moment with him. Let's see if we can't grab a quick word with him while we're under this parade lap. Michael, it's Dave. How you doing, bud?
How's it going?
I can call it, man. Good way to start a Monday off. But how you feeling behind the wheel of the truck?
We'll see it. See how it goes here. You know, it's Talladega. It'll go either way, so we'll see.
Well, one of the last times we had a chance to speak in Victory Lane, it was here at Talladega. We've got a Rockingham mixed in there as well, but I just want to say, if nostalgia brings back anything, maybe we can have a chance to talk a little bit later on at the end of tonight's race. But before we let you set sail, anybody you want to shout out and give any thank yous, love yous, anything for just how everything's unfolded for you here?
Yeah, definitely everybody in the league putting everything on, and you know, we're on season 12 or 15 or whatever it is nowadays, but just keeping this thing going, and it's been a fun ride. We'll go out in style.
All right, my man. Well, we wish you the best from here on out for the course of the rest of the night, and maybe we'll have the opportunity to talk at the end of this one, but it's still a long season. We'll see how you go. Best of luck, my friend, and yeah, stay safe, keep it fast, and we'll talk to you a little bit later.
Appreciate it.
All right, little spur of the moment. Let's see what this guy's thinking. And not a whole lot of words. Excuse us. Sounds like a whole lot of focus inside of that 93 machine. So we'll see if Overstrret can get back into victory lane right here at Talladega SuperSpeedway. One of his first victories coming right here at Talladega SuperSpeedway. So we'll see if he can repeat that one. We'll see if he can repeat as a Truck Series champion. Able to snatch a championship behind the wheel of the trucks. I believe that was season number 3. I do believe my memory serves me correct, and everybody knows my memory's pretty good, so we'll see if that's going to be the case here tonight. But nonetheless, 75 laps. Long way to go for these drivers. No quick fixes, no resets. Run what you brung. We got, what's it, over 150 miles for these guys? About 250 miles almost, somewhere in that range. That'd be 100 laps, but who's counting anyways? Pace truck in. Ready to ride here tonight, a long way through the tri-oval as things get set. The rookie's going to bring us to the green flag for the first time here in season 13, and on the gas, green flag flies at Talladega. Pole sitter does not get going on that inside lane. Daniel Jensen's going to grab the opportunity to take over control of that inside lane. I would expect to see two very organized lines through the course of tonight's race. I don't expect to see a lot of three wide truck driving, especially not at the start of tonight's race. So we'll see how long it takes these guys to simmer down and settle in. Outside lane moving with a big push from Carlos Ramos on the back end of the 41 of Doug Argabright. Argabright going to take control of the lead of the race, but looks like he wants to keep it on the high side, not dropping down there in front of Jensen. He's going to keep that high side motoring, and now a big run as Ramos looks like he wants to head to the bottom. 2-3 wide with the 38 at the bottom of the racetrack. Little bit of trouble for that 38 of Zach Miller slowing. The Celsius machine with a bit of problems. He's going to head to the back of the pack. Daniel Jensen looks to the high side. Lap number 2 going to come to a close as 3 goes on the board. Outside lane falls back just a little bit, now being led by that 4 of Daniel Jensen. Inside lane, Argabright, Ramos, and Wiggins lead the pack. Pole sitter Pickett right behind them. Comfortable, nice little spot here. .28 of Tarnowski with a bit of a different look out there. As now Daniel Jensen has found himself in no man's land. He's quickly going to look for an opening and now slides back to the bottom of the racetrack. Back in line. Going to be running, I believe that's going to be 5th now as your top 4. Clear of the outside lane, and those numbers at the top just continue to fade. Little look, almost 3 wide for a minute. I believe that was Brian Tarnowski in the 28 machine. Yes, it was. Look to the outside of Coro for just a minute. They get that fixed up, worked out. They'll stay headed in the right direction. No harm, no fouls so far here tonight. Still very early. And as we cross the line, lap number 5 going to go on the board. We're going to drop that timing and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field. Now in the sucker hole, being pulled back in the middle, your pole sitter Alexander Pickett heading to the rear of the field. And that's what you call veterans not playing nice. Whoa, way up the racetrack goes the 8. Little bit of trouble. They're going to get it all worked out, sorted out, but whew, bit of a moment for the 8. Going to jump around just a little bit, take a little look back at the front end of this field. Here comes another newcomer leading the charge on that outside lane, the 77 of Zach Monday, working his way up into the mix. Monday only, making his first start and looking to lead a handful of laps early, battling for the second position, has a hard push from the back. The 13 of Jake Doffing all over the rear end of that 77, but Arga Bright. Whoa! Round goes Wiggins, and caution will fly. Whoa, and there's more trouble. 24 going to pick up a little bit of this as well. So I tell you what, we're going to go high above. Take a little look at it, guys. Let's see. Do we have it? Yes, no. Is that a yes, no? All right, let's head to the replay. You can see trouble contact between drivers at the front. Everybody gets a little bit out of shape. Ooh, 24 outside wall, and that is a big hit. So big trouble now for that 24 of Nicholas Wing. Alex Wiggins with a bit of a dust up. I believe the 97 of Carlos Ramos also involved. Let's take another look at it. Did we got another look? Let's head back to the replay. Yeah, just a handful of drivers right there. Trouble mid-pack, and not a lot of people are going to miss it. That's going to put us under caution for the first time here tonight from Talladega SuperSpeedway. So with pit road open, 7 laps in, I would expect to see a handful of these drivers possibly begin to eyeball pit lane. Pit road is open this time by, so drivers will be afforded the opportunity to come to pit road if they so choose. And so far, looks like most of the field is going to be coming to pit road. And Doug Argabright going to lead the long train of cars all the way down pit road. So with that being said, we're going to take this opportunity to pay a few of the we're going to take this opportunity to pay a few of the bills. I'm going to learn how to speak and how to throw to commercials. So with that being said, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
It's been a minute, but back in victory lane. How you feeling after that? I'm gonna call it a check reflect performance, man. Michael Overstrret. How you feeling?
Dude, I am pumped. My heart was racing, probably faster than I was driving.
So
this last 15 laps or so. But yeah, man, it's been a long time coming. I honestly, you know, and it's true what, you know, like real drivers say, like, you never know when your next, when your last win's gonna come or your next win's gonna come, if it does, and I've been questioning that, and it's really good to get another one for sure.
until then, my man, stay safe.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
All right, there you have it. Final words from the Salisbury kid. Well, not a kid, but getting it done. Just around the corner from the hometown here in Rockingham, North Carolina, Michael Overstrret will walk away with the third checkered flag in the season, become our third different winner.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker, the future is feeling.
And back trackside live as promised right here with the American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series season number 13. Now underway, first caution of the night coming out. A handful of drivers going to be involved in this one. That looks like it's going to be an early exit for the Toyota driver of Brian Tarnowski. He is down and out behind pit wall. Early exit to the hauler. So we'll see if this becomes a race of attrition, or if we keep this thing clean and green. We'll have to wait to find out. One thing's for sure, we're going to be here to watch it all unfold. So grab your popcorn, grab your Cokes. Maybe you're eating salads and water. I don't know. But whatever you got, grab it, because there's going to be some great racing action. You don't want to miss a thing as drivers double file once again. Zach Monday and Doug Argabright bring us to the green flag. Coro and Jensen behind them into the restart zone on the gas, and green flag flies here from Talladega. So far, nice, clean restart here. We've seen a handful of passing as Zach Monday going to be shuffled back. 5 of Cody Schultz, 4 of Daniel Jensen, going to take control of that inside lane. Meanwhile, Argabright working with Duffing at the top side, 2-3 wide there, right around that 5th position. So these drivers definitely hungry here tonight. We're going to see it looks like it's going to take grabbing them and tossing them up on the dash to walk away with the race win here tonight. So we'll wait to see how it all unfolds. Argabright gonna let Doffing get some air on the front end of that 13 machine, but that is gonna break up the run on the high side. Now advantage, clear cut advantage to the drivers on that inside lane. We'll see how long they keep it organized. Not very long, as the 91 Apache Coro looks to the high side, looks to lead a lap here. Gonna bring back that train of trucks On the high side, looking to stay organized, looking to make up a little bit of ground, and we stand corrected. Brian Chanowski able to get that 28 machine fixed up enough to get back out there on the racetrack, but he is off of lead lap, so fortunate for him. He has been able to reassume racing here tonight, so we'll see what the rest of the evening unfolds. And a bit of a breakaway here. Interesting to see a bit of a breakaway at the front of this field. 3 trucks starting to drive away from the pack. You see the 91 get a little bit sideways there, jumping from that inside lane up there to try to take control of the high side. A little bit light in the seat there. Gonna jump around a little bit here. Let's see if we can't bring you some more action out there on the track. Taking a look now at Patrick Cora. Well, we're gonna switch it up to Jake Doffing. 3rd truck inside lane, being followed along here tonight by Zach Monday. There you can see Alex Wiggins looking to crack the bottle and twist the cap. The 11 gonna take a shot at leading that outside lane now. There you can see the 38 machine. Thought he had a little bit of early trouble, but Zach Miller playing a little bit of possum. And here he is. 16 laps in. 2nd truck outside lane. And right now, those Snake River boys, they got the cover charge, that's for sure. Top 3 spots, all owned by Snake River Racing drivers. Daniel Jensen, Cody Schultz, Jake Doffing, all right there, nose to tail, leading this field. And those 4 trucks to the high side they just don't seem like they can get enough momentum built up. There's just not enough. Doesn't seem to be. I don't want to say there isn't enough, because the moment I say there isn't enough is the moment that they're going to prove me wrong. So it was 4, now becomes 5. And the run starts to get a little bit better for that outside lane. Now Alex Wiggins able to cover up. Doffing looking now to cover up. Schultz on the inside, gonna do so. Now splitting hairs, looking for the driver's side door. We're going to go side by side through the center of 1 and 2. Battle for the race lead. Down the backstretch, rocket ship. Here we go to the front. The 11 and the 38. They're going to dump that outside lane. They used them for what they needed to. Now the brick wall of air. Going to hit the front end of that 91 machine and Patrick Coro. It's like that high side tossed out a parachute and they begin to immediately lose pace, lose ground, and lose track position. And either I'm behind or I missed something. Carlos Ramos getting by Alex Wiggins for the top spot. Got caught sleeping looking at the speed charts and didn't quite even see that pass being made for the race lead. So that lets you know not to be sleeping at all. And now the 91 of Patrick Coro gonna take control of that top spot. Outside lane absolutely flying now with the 41 of Doug Argabright up there. Help from Jake Doffing right behind him. 93 of Michael Overstreet's going to lead that inside lane. Carlos Ramos just behind him. Alex Wiggins following suit. Magic Man moments there for the 41. Now you see him, now you don't. A little bit of electrical issues going on there. Looks like they've got that rectified and figured out. Meanwhile, front of the field, new race leader 93 of Michael Overstreet will lead him across the line and begin to tack on to that laps led category. And something we haven't really talked about here tonight yet, race fans, something that we haven't mentioned is temperatures. We see a lot of these truck drivers out there leaning all over the rear deck lid of the drivers in front of them. We have yet to talk about overheating. We have yet to see that become a problem. So will that become a factor as these guys continue these long, lengthy pushes? You can hang on the back of the truck for a solid lap without popping the top button. After that, you gotta start asking yourself, how much is it worth risking it for the biscuit? A little bit of a wiggle on that inside lane for the 93 of Overstreet. Gets a little bit out of shape coming through the triangle. They'll get that ship righted, and now Jake Dopping looks to lead that inside lane. Carlos Ramos, he wants a shot at leading a handful of laps here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway. He's going to surge to the front now. New race leader down the back stretch. Cody Schultz right there, the 5 yet to lead a lap. Will he be the next one on the list? Michael Overstreet doing his best to try to shoot That 13 machine out front and away, but possibly dragging a little bit of brake. Is that 13 of Dolphin, because the outside lane's going to surge back with a head full of steam. Challenge at the line. Lap lead goes to Ramos. Almost 20 laps into this green flag run. Just one early caution here tonight slows the field down. We have been green ever since, which will lend us to the fact of, will we see fuel strategy come into factor? Will the gas tanks become the key to how this race is won or lost? Snake Rivers trying to group back up once again. Two of them nose to tail on that high side, looking to try to root them up out of the way. We're going to go 3 wide here for 2 rows deep, with Carlos Ramos, the outright race leader, liking what he sees behind him in that side view mirror, or rear view mirror, I should say. And just as quick as the 3 wide started, the 3 wide is going to come to an end. Drivers very well may have thought better of that. And we do got some guys a little bit off pace. Let's take a little look here at Daniel Jensen, Dave Gage. These guys quite a ways off of that lead pack. Got to go all the way up here. There you can see the 24 of Nicholas Swing, a full 10 seconds back to Daniel Jensen and Dave Gage, and another 10 seconds back to Dylan Deese. A lonely man out there on the track is the 16. And if our memory's serving us correct, 16 with a little bit of contact earlier here tonight in that first and only incident on the track. And the damage may be showing up a little bit late. Less than 10 laps away from the halfway point here tonight. So really those green flag pit stops are going to start to creep in, I believe, to the back of a handful of these drivers' minds here. Oh, that was close. Oh my goodness. 38, the Celsius sponsored Chevy being driven by Zach Miller, almost gets clipped, almost gets sent on a free family vacation into the outside wall. Somehow, himself and Cody Schultz going to keep that thing together. 97 of Carlos Ramos, trying to figure out which back he wants to be in, up at the high side or down at the bottom. It looks like more drivers are beginning to hit that elevator down button and head to that inside lane. So that is typically a telltale sign of impending green flag pit stops. So as we are just a handful of laps away from the halfway point here tonight, do want to take a little bit of time to do a small bit of house cleaning here tonight. 15 drivers took to the starting grid. We have still got all 15 drivers out there on the track, but only 12 remain on the lead lap here tonight. Dylan Deese making his debut, the rookie being scored one lap down, but in the lucky dog position. Brian Ternowski down 4 laps here tonight. Pole sitter, newcomer, tale of 2 races here tonight for that 8 machine. Alexander Pickett gonna pick up some problems and find himself 11 laps down, running in the 15th position. Things getting a little bit mixed up. Oh, contact, and the 77 goes for a ride. More trouble on the front stretch. We didn't get a chance to watch it all unfold. We got drivers around. We've got problems. We've got cautions. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to go above with the... Do we got the drone cam up here, guys? Can we put the drone cam on this one? Got it. All right. Let's go check the replay. Let's see what brought it out. There you can see contact. I believe that was between Doffing and the 77. There you can see more contact for Pickett. There's trouble for the 38. Pickett's going to head up the racetrack into the outside wall. No, he's going to keep it out of that outside wall. Somehow I do. Jesus. Sheesh. Trouble for these guys. And I do believe, let's take a look. I do believe that, yes, it was the 13 machine of Jake Doffing in trouble, caught up in this one. And 2, 3, 4 trucks go a flying. Zach Monday involved in it. He's going to do his best landscaping. I mean, job well done. I mean, if that had John Deere on the side, I'd be proud. So there it is. Caution, second time of the night. Flies as drivers try to make their way to pit road for a green flag pit stop. But the timing of the pit stop, the timing of the caution, these drivers will not have enough fuel to make it to the end. So another pit stop will be needed. We need to make ourselves a pit stop as well. So I'm going to take just a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back right here live from Talladega SuperSpeedway.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. butt kicker. The future is feeling.
Vice City. It eats you alive if you let it. But if you're smart, if you're ruthless, you can own it. You ready to make some real money?
I'm done being someone else's pawn. We run this our way.
This place is chaos, baby. Just how I like it.
Vice City's changed since I built it. New blood thinks they can take what's mine.
We hit them fast, disappear faster.
And if anyone gets in the way,
We bury them.
they wanted a war. We'll give them one.
Welcome back to Vice City.
And if you're waiting for GTA 6, you're going to have to wait a lot longer than we're going to have to wait to go back green flag racing. I wouldn't expect to see that thing come out to about 3098. Just saying. And yes, I said 3098. You can give me the side eye, the stink eye, that's cool. I just know how long it took for GTA 5 to come out, and then I also know how long it took for it to come to PC from the console side of things, so I'm not expecting anything anytime soon. Better off waiting for Call of Duty VR or something incredible. I don't know. I'm sure we'll figure something else out. So we're going to set the stage here. Drivers are going to take the green flag to resume racing just about at that halfway point. A couple of drivers with some issues, a couple of drivers with some trouble. But for the most part, field looks pretty familiar at the front. Pace truck's gonna take off. Argabright and Wiggins will bring us back to the green flag with Overstrret and Gage in row 2. Doffing and Schultz in row 3. Monday and Coro and Miller and Ramos. Round out your top 10 for our latest restart right here from Talladega SuperSpeedway. You're watching the American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series. "75 laps up, 35 of them knocked down as we nail the gas and get back under green flag conditions. Front row takes off. Top 2 outside lane. Gonna say thank you very much. Head to the inside. Top 4 starting to break away just a little bit. This driver struggling to make pace, struggling to keep position at the restart. For the most part, it looks like everybody gonna be forced to get single file, at least to start to try to generate a run. And a big move there from Carlos Ramos, almost runs into the back end of that 91 of Patrick Coro, just closed in, and well, I guess a lot quicker than what he was expecting. And to make some evasive maneuvers, he's going to keep it clean. We stay green flag racing here. As your top two have stepped away just a little bit. Doug Argabright leads Michael Overstrret halfway down the backstretch and into turn number 3. And here comes the run from that 11 of Alex Wiggins. You knew it was just a matter of time when the back of the pack begin to close in on your race leaders. Trouble, and around goes Dave Gage. Trouble, and around goes Gage. Can he keep it clean? A little bit of smoke, a little bit of trouble for a handful of these guys. Let's see what we can see. Let's go check the replay. And I think it starts a little bit out in front of this 404. I think there's a little bit of troubles going on. Running up on it a little bit late. I think we may have been a little bit late there. I think that's going to be the caution before. Let's head back here, take another look. Here we go. That's where we want it. And just up the racetrack a little bit, 13 into the side of the 404. That's going to get them both spinning, and we're going to miss whether or not there was contact there. Let's take a little look. And I believe there was. There you can see the 91 of Patrick Coro. He's sliding sideways after contact with the 13. The 404 going to be involved in this one as well. 3-4. The drivers caught up involved, and caution number 3 here tonight. So we're going to head back behind the pace car for a slow crawl once again. That does benefit, however, as long as they weren't involved in anything, that will benefit the 4 of Daniel Jensen. That will benefit Tarnowski. Playing the okie dokie obachobi. The entire field. Gonna just absolutely stick it to Argabright. Well, the California kid, he's gonna be the lone wolf out there. Everybody else gonna come down pit road. Whew. And for the most part, I'd like to say, you know, tires aren't really the great factor here at Talladega Superspeedway. It's more so the fuel. We're gonna take a little look at these pit road times, and yeah, just enough to top off with fuel for Overstrret, Ramos, Schultz, Miller, Wing, all taking fuel only. Patrick Coro fixing a bit of damage on his 91 machine. Alex Wiggins doing the same. Dylan Deese, Daniel Jensen gets the wave around. Dave Gage and Jake Doffing still down on pit road, fixing, hammering, beating, banging away on their rides. So for the most part, fuel only for these guys that are going to line up behind Argabright, and that's what it comes down to at this point in time. Right, we're going to restart tonight's race. I believe it's going to be with about 33 laps to go. But if you have to make your final stop and you can take less fuel, that's going to benefit you right out the rip, especially if it is under green flag conditions. We've seen these drivers reach that fuel threshold that was somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20 to 22 laps. So judging by the math, a little over 30 to go, only about 20 laps of fuel on board. Pretty safe bet that these guys are going to have to come back down pit road. And what looked like a bright night for that 404 of Dave Gage has turned into a bit of a nightmare, long, lengthy stay on pit road. That's just a tough one. So we'll see how many laps both Dave Gage and Jake Duffing fall here tonight. Both still on pit road. Neither crew or driver has given up yet, so we'll see if either of those two drivers are able to resume the race here. Argabright and Overstrret ready to lead us to the green flag into the restart zone, and on the gas, green flag flies here from Talladega Superspeedway. And now with a handful of these trucks having some significant damage or significant enough damage, starting to really see a difference between the haves and the have-nots. A handful of drivers back here. Nicholas Wink, Zach Miller, Cody Schultz. Back behind them, you can see Zach, I believe that is Zach Miller back there. Daniel Jensen right here, Dylan Deese, all of these drivers with significant damage early here tonight. And it might be a bit of a tall task for them to run down that lead pack of what looks to be 4 drivers just barely hanging on to him is Zach Monday in that 77. Alexander Pickett right there trying to do his best to try to keep that 77 as being a relevant newcomer here tonight. All of your other debutantes with a little bit of trouble. And here you go. Not only does that 77 run down your top 4, but he's going to look to the high side and he's going to look to take some positions away. Gotta love the enthusiasms there. You know what? You got to be willing to risk it. And if you got some help, you might as well go. 41 of Doug Argabright losing the tail end of your top 3. I believe this is going to be a methodical bit of a fallback here by that Gatorade sponsored number 41 machine. Michael Overstrret looking like he wanted to head to the top side. No help from behind, so he'll keep it pinned to that inside lane. Biggest mover of the night. Want to give this gentleman a little bit of recognition while we got him. Started 15th and currently sitting in that second position. Alex Wiggins up 13 spots here tonight. Looking for a little more. Does have a couple of laps led in the back here. There you can see I said a couple, and that's exactly what he's got. 2. And 2 is better than none. Lead pack gonna break into 2 as they approach the tail end of the 91 of Patrick Coro. They're gonna sort it all out. Head to the top side of the racetrack, and looks like Michael Overstrret may be the odd man out for the moment. Second pack beginning to close in. And just like that, the complexity of the rest of this race just ramped up about 4 or 5 notches with that second pack of drivers running down this lead front 4. The lieutenant out front doing a good job at leading tonight's race. Michael Overstrret going to look to the bottom. Move covered off by Ramos. The 97 and 93 will lead the field. Back behind them, 2 side by side with the lap machine of Patrick Coro. Outside lane starting to lose the head full of steam. Zachary Monday going to fall back all the way back behind Argabright. That's going to be right around that 5th position. Miller and Monday, Schultz and Monday, they're all going at it. Nicholas Wing, Daniel Jensen right here in the mix as well. So a little bit of leapfrog action here as drivers begin to look for a single file run to now make it 3 wide for a second, as Alex Wiggins has done enough following. He wants to do some leading, and for the moment he's gonna lead that outside lane, but lead it all alone, and that is not where you want to find yourself. But on the high side of the racetrack all by yourself, never a good look. He's going to drop back just a little bit, but here comes the 77 with a little bit of help. Under 30 laps remaining here tonight at Talladega SuperSpeedway. You're watching the American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series. Right here each and every Monday night, you can find these A.S.M.R drivers putting in work, pounding the pavement, and getting down to business. If you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. To be sure to drop them a thumbs up. Lets them know that you enjoy all the racing action here tonight and each and every Monday night that they fire the engines. Don't forget to click subscribe, smash the bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go 3 wide. Not for the race lead. Now for the race lead with the 77 shooting out of a cannon. Here comes Monday. Or there goes Monday. Or here goes Monday. You know what? I'm not going to even... I'm just going to stop. or click subscribe, smash the bell, get notified anytime we go live. Don't need a calendar, don't need to write anything down. We'll hit you up with a special little notification each and every time we go live. We thank each and every one of you for being here, not just tonight, but each and every night that you tune in with us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. Without you, there'd be no us. And we, again, want to thank each and every one of you, the fans, the friends, the family that keep these leagues alive and keep this network going. Truly blessed to have you all, and truly we would not be able to do what we do if it was not for you. 25 laps to go. Quick little shout out to all of the sponsors so far this season. As always, coming back, returning as a channel sponsor. Butt Kicker, putting the feel, the hit, the wave, the win right there beneath your seat. Butt Kicker, the future is feeling. The longest running in standing number one setup shop right here for iRacing.com, the world's number one racing simulator, still going strong with the best setups in the business. If you're looking for a little bit of speed on dirt, they gotcha. Whether it's road course racing or asphalt over, they've got the setups and they've got the coaching you need. Shave off a few tenths or just get that little extra edge at PremierRacingSetups.com. Once again, that's PremierRacingSetups.com. All right, so all of the sponsors taken care of. We've got our bills paid for the evening. Now it's time to talk about the final few laps here tonight from Talladega SuperSpeedway. We are under 25 to go. We've got 50 laps of racing already behind us. Another 24 to go. What a night, what a run. Wiggins controlling that inside lane, has the 91 of Patrick Coro, being shown 2 laps down, being the biggest pusher in the field right now. Back behind them, 2 Gatorade teammates. Wonder if that's got to be Gatorade Fierce and just Gatorade. I don't know. Carlos Ramos now going to surge forward, look to take over the lead of the race once again after a big push off the front end of that 93 of Michael Overstrret, who has just been hanging out, right? He's just been right here since making a couple of moves early in tonight's race. Michael Overstreet's just kind of been hanging out right here at the front. There it is. Surge around the high side. Drop into the bottom. He's going to follow suit with what the 97 of Carlos Ramos did just a lap prior. New race leader at the front of the field. Once again, Michael Overstret back to the point. Now just the 38 and 28 up there on the high side. Rest of this front pack all down on the bottom. Is this just safe pack racing to try to... Oh my goodness, and around goes Overstret into the outside wall in chaos at the front. Just when we thought this may be a little bit of calculated calmness, we're gonna have some big problems. Well, here we go. Let's see what happened. Let's see what brought out our latest caution. We're going to take a little look at it here. Might have went back a little bit too far, but you know what? We're going to watch this story unfold. Through 3 and 4, there you can see a little bit of washing up of the racetrack by that 97 of Carlos Ramos. He's going to keep it in line for the moment with Overstrret. Nothing seems to be out of shape just yet. Everything looking just fine until it doesn't. Up the racetrack just a little bit. 38 going to get turned down into the side of Overstrret, and that's going to send him for a bit of a spin as well. So let's take another look at it here. Did you see the carnage, the aftermath? Carlos Ramos going for a ride, and oh man, Gatorade splash right there. So it looks like this very well may have turned into a bit of a war of attrition. A lot of drivers caught up and involved with a lot of incidents here tonight. There you can see your two drivers waiting for a wave around, waiting for a lucky dog. Daniel Jensen going to get one of his laps back, give himself a bit of a fighting chance. And race fans, we're going to have less than 20 to go, so we're going to step away for the final time here tonight. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be, well, we might be. We're going to be right back. And back live trackside here, live from Talladega SuperSpeedway. You haven't missed any of the action. Pace truck lights off. Drivers starting to go double file. A lot of guys with problems. A lot of guys with issues. When we see one of these wounded warriors be able to pick up a win? Or will we see one of the few that have been able to stay so fresh and so clean be the ones to shower in the confetti at the end of tonight's race? We've got some big movers at the front, up 14 positions from where he qualified here tonight. That's right, from the back to the front. Alex Wiggins going to completely flip this field on its head. He will be the control car, bringing us back to the green flag. And want to shout out that 24 lining up just behind him, up 10 positions here. And just a quiet night for that DuPont number 24 machine of Nicholas Wing. Fuel no longer a factor. Who will make it to the end? Into the restart zone we go, and green flag flies here from Talladega. And caution. Looks like we're hearing a debris caution, so one of the race officials missing something here, and we're going to go right back under caution here with just a handful of laps left. I say a handful, it's going to be right around 15, 16 laps left, so still about 35 miles worth of racing remaining here for these drivers, so definitely not going to be not going to be done in the blink of an eye, but you might not want to blink. So a little bit of a rough run for a handful of these drivers to kick off things here in season number 13. We will have right at 15 laps to go when these drivers get back to green flag racing conditions. But with it being the start of the season, a long way to go for these drivers with the rough runs tonight to turn their seasons around, to try to pick up some points. There is no chase. There is no win and you're in. It is all about old school points style racing here with the American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series. So again, these drivers that have had the troubles here tonight, they're going to have the opportunity to make up for it in the next handful of weeks, but they're going to have to start being a model of consistency. They're going to have to try to minimize the woes and put a lid on that problem category. Here we go, fifth caution of the night, getting ready. Oh my goodness. Getting ready to come to a close. We're going to smash the gas and nail the loud pedal once again. Let's see if we can get this thing to the end. A little bit of fog beginning to roll into the racetrack here, as we are hearing word of weather about 30 minutes out. So these drivers are looking at being pressed on lap count, being pressed by Mother Nature. And we're going to see who can press their luck and walk away with a race win. Double file at the front with Schultz and Overstrret on the gas, and green flag flies once again here at Talladega with just 14 to go. Great start there for the 5, but quickly closing in at the front. Michael Overstrret going to jump straight to the top side. He's going to bring Doug Argo-Bright right along with him. 77 of Zach Monday going to fall in line behind the tail end of that 5 of Schultz. Keep him motoring towards the front. A little bit of a wiggle on the high side from Overstrret. There you see Zach Miller involved. Carlos Ramos getting back up into the mix. There goes the 4 to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going to give up a bit of position here. Daniel Jensen going to head to the rear as we start to see 3 wide at the back of the field with Nicholas Wing looking to the high side. Wing thought about it, thought better of it. 13 to go. We'll stay side by side. Halfway down the backstretch as we head to 3. And there's the move from the top side to the bottom. Oh my goodness, Argo-Bright. Gonna follow Overstrret from the top lane to the bottom and almost take the nose of the 5 off while doing so. Whoa. Big move. A big move that almost didn't work out in a very big way. 12 laps to go, so let's throw that timing and scoring back over to the left-hand side of your screen. There you go. You can find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. 15 drivers to the starting grid. We've still got 14 out there on the racetrack. Dave Gage out there trying to fix beat and bang on his machine, see if he can't get that 404 back out there. 13 drivers, I should say. One retirement here tonight. Alexander Pickett, your pole sitter, has called it a night and went behind a pit wall. So with the 13 on track, only 10 remain on the lead lap with 11 to go. Outside lane gonna find some numbers. They're gonna find some momentum and a blast around the outside. There's Zach Miller to the front of this field, being held by the 91 of Patrick Coro. Outside lane trying to get a little bit of momentum with Brian Ternowski. Not going to go much of anywhere here. Overstrret looking racy. He's going to jump from that inside lane back to the top side. Try to lead that outside lane back to the front of the field. Reclaim the top spot, but not going anywhere for the moment. He's going to lose a little bit of ground through the triangle. Losing a little bit of ground is not something that you want. 2, 3 wide here with 10 to go. We're going to mute the mic for a moment and crank it up here from Talladega. As we watch all the great action, Doug Argerbright has been able to utilize some runs, get to the front of this field. Now that Gatorade duo fighting hard again at the front of the field. Argerbright leading Ramos, and they look like they very well may want to lead this thing to the end. Big move now by the 38 from that top side down to the bottom of the racetrack. Argerbright leads Ramos, Miller right there, Monday, Coro, and Schultz. A lot of big moves now starting to happen. We're starting to see some of these trucks begin to dart around the racetrack. Not these quick, subtle moves, but these big moment moves. Across the stripes, 7 laps remaining here at Talladega Superspeedway. A little over 15 miles of racing action remain here in front of these American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series drivers. Doug Argabright looking to pick up a win number 1 early here this season, but he's got a hornet's nest of hungry drivers right behind him. Patrick Coro looking to the outside. Alex Wiggins right here in the mix. Cody Schultz on the high side. There's Jake Doffing also to the top side. Jake off of the lead lap, but still doing all he can to try to push the teammate to the front. 3 wide, starting to develop. Meet in the middle is Overstrret. And this is what that outside lane cannot afford to do. They can't afford to get to racing. They can't afford to get to going to 3 wide with those outside lanes. They have got to stay tucked up, nose to tail. They have got to build the momentum. They have got to build the energy. If they're going to want to do any type of significant work from that high side, or have the front have a moment like that and get a little bit mixed up here, we're going to have 5 to go this time by. Five laps remaining here in the American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series. The Ode to Overstrret is 75. Things looking pretty calm here at the front of this pack. It looks like the entire front pack gonna go nose to tail now. Somebody's going to have to make a move, and it's going to come down to who goes with them and who doesn't. A little bit of moment at the tail end of the field. They're going to break up just a little bit here. There you can see Michael Overstrret looking to the top side, but not having anybody peek to the top with him. He's going to fall back in line once again. Now that 77 is going to go to the top side. 77 of Zach Monday looking for a little bit of a run to the front. Less than 8 miles of racing remain as we cross the line this time by. Just 3 laps to go here at Talladega SuperSpeedway. Patrick Coro leads Alex Wiggins and Doug Argabright across the stripe. Here comes a run from the high side, jump to the top from that 5 of Cody Schultz. That's going to bring that outside lane surging forward for just a moment. Run starting to stall out just a little bit. They're going to work their way off of 3 and 4. We're going to see popsicle sticks on display this time by. Just 2 to go here from Talladega SuperSpeedway. Just 2 laps of racing remain. Problems in the outside lane. It's going to dissipate and disappear. With 2 to go, you better make your move. And I believe that may have been Jake Doffing looking to the top side of the racetrack. Yes, it was. No help for Doffing, as there you can see the 93 of Overstrret. He's going to head to the top side. He needs a run, and it needs to come quick. We're going to work our way off of 4 and see the white flag fly this time by. leave us with just one to go. Here we go across the stripe, and white flag flies. Final lap here from Talladega SuperSpeedway. Patrick Coro looking to finish off tonight's race with the top spot. Arga Bright going to jump to the top side with help from Ramos. Here comes the 24 of Nicholas Wing. Back to the bottom goes Coro to block the run on the inside lane. 2-3 wide out of 2. Michael Overstrret motoring to the front of the field. He's going to be third truck outside lane. Where did he come from? Big push down the backstretch. Going to move Arga Bright to the top side. Ramos stuck in the middle. Run starts to stall on the high side for Overstrret. Bottom 4 going to start to walk away. Coro all over the tail end. That 47, and oh my goodness, trouble coming through the triangle, beating the banging for the race win. Oh my goodness. And that's it. That's gonna do it. Checkered flag flies, and Doug Argabright gonna walk away as your first race winner here in season number 13. Patrick Coro in second. Cody Schultz gonna finish out your podium drivers. So with that being said, race fans, what a night, what a race, man. So as Doug enjoys a little bit of a smoke show, we're going to take this moment to step away from the racetrack, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back right here from Talladega SuperSpeedway. In back live trackside, as promised, we're going to take this moment to see if we can't catch up with the driver that walked away with the victory here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway. Let's grab a few words for the man with the checkered flag behind the wheel of that Gatorade machine. Doug, it's Dave. Man, back in victory lane never gets old, does it?
No, especially when it was as fun as that finish was. Oh my goodness. I need to see. Oh, my car just blew up. Guess when your oil temp's in at 295, it's bad for the engine. Um, I didn't. I really thought he was going to get me. Because I'm like, yeah, I need to. The top is you just need so much side draft help. I'm like, you need to go early. We had the run, cool, take it. Um, Ramos and I both knew we were not going to both get clear, so whoever was in front would just happen to be me. Um, dropped to the bottom, try to go for the win, and he got, or I Riley Herbst him with Reddick there, like at the 500. And then yeah, it was just protect the inside, and that's the only way I feel like I had a chance. So it was really, really fun, and yeah, I love racing with these group of guys.
Man, it was a little bit of a long night here from a super speedway. A lot of great racing, a little bit of I'll call it shenanigans. No real chaos, but just a couple of problems scattered throughout tonight's race. How were you able to keep yourself in that machine clean?
A lot of it was the mentality of just getting to the end. Um, Once there was so actually the first caution when everyone went in on what should have been a green flag stop, Wiggins and I had an extra lap, and I'm like, we both have an extra lap of fuel. If we lose it, we lose it, but if they crash, we're great. We don't have to worry about it. So once that happened, I'm like, cool. Like it was one of those like intuition gut feeling things where it's like, okay, the safer side won, so just kind of get it to the end, then we'll figure that out. And that was also for that last little run where where it was Coro in the front, and we were just pushing like crazy, trying to leave the second line. So it was like I was just like the fewer the better, try to go for the win. Um, yeah, it was just I knew it was going to be survival, and that was my whole thing, and then just make the move at the last second.
Well, man, you made the right moves at the right times. You walked away with the first race win here in season number 13. So, congratulations on that one. You know how this thing rolls. So, final shout outs, thank yous, love yous.
Thank you, love you to you as always. Always nice to hear your voice. I missed you. Um, as always to my wife for putting up with when I tell her about this later when she gets home. Um, and just to all the A.S.M.R guys. Um, it's so fun to do plate tracks, especially when they need to be this tight with the side drive and everything like that. You know, you have a good group of guys that you can trust to make those close moves. Um, it just makes it that much more exhilarating. So yeah, yeah, just thank you for. I don't know. It's going to be a good season. So thank you for the first race win. Hopefully, I can get how many weeks do we have? Like 12 or something like that. I don't know. 14. Hopefully, I can talk to you that many more times.
Well, Doug, I'm sure we'll meet again before the end of the season. So, congratulations once again, kicking off the season with the race win. Until we talk later, stay safe and keep it fast.
All right. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words for the man in victory lane. And we're going to move right along now to the driver that walked away with second here tonight. You can see him just off in the background. There he is. Let's see if we can't dial up a few words with the man behind the wheel of that number 91 machine. Patrick, it's Dave. You got us?
Yeah, got you, Dave. Man, we tried to make it exciting there for you, didn't we?
I mean, you tried. You pretty much did, but you tried all you could. And, man, a hell of a finish at the end of this thing. You almost had enough to snatch that win. How good you feeling after a performance like tonight?
I mean, hard to complain. we midway through the race had that ignition issue. Had to go in and get the MSD box swapped out and get her refired up and go. And that put us a couple laps down. And thankfully, we just got the right set of cautions to get the wave around one time, and then I don't know what happened ahead of us, but somebody spun on the restart, gave us a lucky dog, gave us a fighting chance, and said, "All right, well we can put this together and maybe go make Overstreet proud here at the end." And by the looks of it, it looks like we were .003 from doing that, but still chasing that first win. But this is a good way to start season.
Sometimes it's that eyelash of a frog hair that you come up short, but it'll come back to you in the end. I can assure you that, man. Again, great way to start off season 13. Still a long way to go here, so always a good thing to start off the season with a podium finish. So can't be too upset about that. Great race in action for you, able to utilize a little bit of luck on your side as well here tonight. So just all in all, things falling the right way for you in that 91 crew. So before we let you go here tonight, Patrick, any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
I mean, first shout outs got to go to Overstreet. He put this whole thing together, back in 2020. Been friends with him for years. It's a shame the news that's happened with him, but I'm real happy to carry his colors here today from his first win. So was hoping that we could maybe get it one more win before we retired the colors, but not the case. But just gotta shout out his dedication to the league and all the stuff that he's done for us and to get us all together and get us to where we are today. A little quick shout out to Wiggins. He was awesome pushing partner there at the end. He pretty much stuck with me all the way up until I had to start blocking there on that last run or that last lap there. And shout out to everybody that makes this happen. Shout out to you, Dave, and all the folks that are watching, because without anybody around, we're just sitting in couch chairs doing nothing.
Well, I just want to say, if you got a couch chair, I'm jealous. I want a couch chair, but that's a different story. I'll have to talk to somebody else in HR about that or something, but that's besides the point. Again, Patrick, heck of a way to kick off the season, walking away with a podium finish. We'll see if you can't improve on the second place. Maybe talk to us from victory lane in the next handful of weeks, but until then, my friend, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
Thanks, all.
All right, there you go. Final few words for the man that finishes in second here tonight. And we're going to round out the post-race show with the man that finishes in third in that final podium position. He had a push for the win, just came up a little bit short. Cody, how you feeling behind the wheel of that 5, bro?
Good, Dave. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. It's Monday, so I'm sure by the end of the week it's gonna be worse. Just saying, but anyways.
I mean, Friday's better than Monday. I'll take Friday better than Monday.
I've actually asked if I could line up 4 Fridays, I would have no problem working.
Absolutely. If I could have a 4-day work week, that'd be fantastic. But not everybody gets that.
Yeah, that would. I don't know. I don't know what I would do with a 4-day work week. Like that, just I think I'd be lost. But, anyways, back to the reason why we're here. A hell of a run for you in that 5 crew. You and the Snake River Racing boys. It looked like you might have started to have the race on lockdown. A little bit of things happened, and unfortunately didn't quite have the teammates with you there at the end. So how were you able to get it to the point to where you had that little shot to walk away with a victory?
Just chaos at the end, like always. I had Jake, had Dan. They were right behind me or right in front of me the entire time. And then just towards the end, a couple of car troubles with Dan and Jake, but I just tried to keep my nose clean, and we managed to come out with the podium spot. So I'm happy for it.
Well, a great way to start the season. A long way to go here in season number 13. So we're not going to keep you very much longer. No, it's getting late for some of the people back at the hauler. They're going to be waiting to debrief with you and all that good stuff. So with all that being said, Cody, congratulations on the 3rd place finish here tonight. Before we let you go, shout outs, thank yous, love yous.
Appreciate you, Dave. Thank you. And then, of course, my teammates, too. Other than that, nope, that's everything.
Well, Cody said, I love me, and thank you for being here. I'll see you next week. No, I'm just kidding, man. Heck of a job.
No, I'm excited. I haven't raced in like 6 months, so honestly, and get a little practice at Talladega. Started at Wiggins. I don't know what happened there. I'll have to go back and look, but it is so much fun doing this thing. So I'm so glad I joined you tonight.
Well, you've been away for a little while, so I want to remind you of the cure all. It was netcode. Just
it's always netcode.
It's always netcode. Always.
Absolutely, Dave.
All right, Cody. Well, again, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight. Until next time, my friends, stay safe and keep it fast.
Alrighty, bud. We'll see you.
All right, there you go. Final few words from our final podium driver here tonight. Cody Schultz will walk away 3rd here from Talladega SuperSpeedway, and that's pretty much gonna wrap things up for us here tonight from Talladega SuperSpeedway. And with producers hitting those familiar sounds in the background, you know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results. Walking away with the checkered flag in hand, top spot belongs to the California kid, Doug Argabright. Patrick Coro going to finish in 2nd, with Cody Schultz finishing out the podium. Michael Overstrret right there at the end, but finishes in 4th. Lieutenant Carlos Ramos back in 5th. Sliding home 6th is the rookie behind the wheel of his 77 machine, Zach Monday. 7th place to Nicholas Wing with the 11 of Alex Wiggins coming home in a 38 machine of Zach Miller. In 9th with the 4 of Daniel Jensen. Finishing out your top 10, Brian Tarnowski, Dylan Deese, Jake Doffing, Dave Gage, and Alexander Pickett finish out your top 15. Tough night for the pole sitter. We'll see if Pickett can't turn things around next week, but we're going to have to wait until then. So we're going to cut off the lights and roll up the cords and get ready for some action next Monday night. If you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Be sure to drop them a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the headquarters, we appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. So stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.